What's up, YouTube? So this is going to be a companion video, like a follow-up to the previous Strandberg Salen review that I did. Only this one is a year later, so the lessons learned, well, technically over a year later, but yeah, I'm going to cover all kinds of stuff, just a complete rundown of what I've learned about it, what I love about it, and of course show you some tones and things like that without any background music, and like really give you some informed information to make a good purchase decision. Yeah, and again, this is probably the best instrument I've ever played, hands down, especially once I got it set up the way I wanted to. And I have to emphasize, if you buy a Strandberg, don't immediately think, oh, is this it? Is this the instrument? Will accept all kinds of tweaking. It's very sensitive to being tweaked, and you can get the action down extremely low without any buzz, any fret buzz, due to the carbon fiber reinforced neck and the flatness of the radius on the fingerboard, etc., etc. So any and all Strandberg owners, I invite you to endlessly tweak your instrument until it is absolutely perfect, and it will get to a state where you're more than satisfied. So yeah, so right after this little demo reel that I put together, there's going to be an 8 to 10 minute long kind of a distortion overdrive demo, kind of like technique heavy, kind of with the modern vintage aesthetic that I've been fostering. And I don't know, I hope you enjoy it. into it here. So I'm just going to basically demo some clean sounds. So this is the bridge pickup, okay? Just all the way, the tone control all the way out. Really nice. Good for rock, country, etc. Just real, like, roots type music. Like, you know, blues. It's very easy to play this with nines. I think I have like 9 through, it's not 42, it's like 47 or 50 something, light top, heavy bottom. The light top, heavy bottom on this type of guitar, the 6 string, seems to be just right. It's in the Goldilocks zone, in my opinion. But for country players, you know, because it's a headless guitar and it's, you know, it's contoured with cuts, you might be apprehensive to give it a shot. But I'm telling you, it's got all of the twang you would expect. You know, you can also tap really easy with the bridge pickup. Which is something that you don't often find with other telly style guitars. And that in and of itself is kind of an interesting selling point. It gives you like more tonal options, like with what I do, I can imagine using that in a trio format for more like funk oriented stuff. Which, you know, speaking of which, the middle position, I don't use the middle all that often. But it's definitely Funk City. I mean, I use it maybe for slap guitar type stuff. It's really good for that. It's also useful. Maybe I'll crack the tone a little bit here and do, you know, counterpoint with it, because I might oftentimes use the neck pickup for that because it's more of a full range, darker kind of sound. But the middle actually works pretty good for that too. Ted Green played a lot of this improvised counterpoint. It's kind of one of the guys I got the idea to start trying to improvise that kind of stuff from, was Ted Green. But I would see his position be in the middle for when he was like improvising Baroque music. He said he used to practice that maybe an hour a day or something like that, yeah. Or something like that. And speaking of the tone control, before I get into the neck pickup, of course, the neck pickup is arguably, you know, for me and what I do playing wise, it's like probably the most useful or versatile thing in the guitar. But that's because I'm jazz oriented. But so you can also cut the tone all the way off for the bridge pickup. And I know you know these things. It's pretty obvious, but on single coil guitars, the tone control is actually a really versatile tool. Not so much on humbuckers for whatever reason, sonically. But cutting it almost all the way off gives you that old Esquire sound, like the single bridge pickup, old Fender design. It has no neck pickup. They had a setting where you could flip the switch forward and it gave you like a tone cut bridge pickup, which has this really woody type of a sound. And it's actually useful with distortion when you put a little bit of distortion on it, which I'll demonstrate here. So, right, with it all the way open, which you heard on the previous clip there. Very responsive, easy to play, but with the tone control rolled back, you get kind of a humbuckery, Holdsworthy type of really singing kind of a thing. Just tweak it. Kind of a thing, you know, versus the all the way out tone bridge all the way on, which is more raucous. And then, of course, that brings us to the neck pickup. The woman tone, as they call it, you know. And I like to use this pickup for a lot of two-handed tapping, because it produces a smoother tone with less noise, if that makes any sense. Like you can do it's easier to mute with this. I don't know why, but it just is. So you can do like more advanced multi-octave arpeggios. But obviously the main event for me, and a lot of what I do is basically the neck pickup clean. It gets like a nice full jazz box kind of a thing, and of course the tone control is there to tweak how much high end you want. So for different applications, depending on what key I'm in, I might add more or less high end. It also depends on if there's other people playing. Like if I'm playing with a bass player or like a bass track or drums, I might want to add more high end or less high end. You know, it just depends on what the situation is. But you can roll off the high end maybe a little less than halfway. You start to get like a nice. Again, you can hear how balanced it is, and the way I have this set up, you know. You want to be able to tap pretty light, low or high, and get roughly the same volume. So that requires tilting the pickups and then checking into the software until it's, you know, and that helps you avoid having to use a ton of compression. But most people don't do this. They just stick the pickups all one height, and, you know, totally avoiding the fact that this is a more mass of a string than, this string has more mass than like these. You know, it's just impossible in terms of physics to get an equal frequency response. So like that's one way of looking at it. And again, like you can just hear this thing exudes so much tone, even though it doesn't have a giant body. It exudes so much tone. There's also a unique feature of this seems like you can even use like flamenco-ish techniques and get, I mean, this is obviously an electric guitar with very electric pickups, you know. But it responds so well to even like acoustic guitar techniques. Maybe you could do this on a regular electric. I don't know why this, whatever has been done, Ola designed this thing to do. It just, I don't know. Maybe it's the multi-scale links or something. Or just the fact that the neck is made of, has the carbon fiber reinforcement, and it just makes it much more solid for in terms of acoustical frequency transference or something. But it just, you know. Just all of this, these weird intervals too, like real dissonant type playing. Totally in tune. You know, I mean, give or take, you know, much more than a standard guitar. Imagine trying to do that on a regular telly. You'll immediately hear, oh my god, I gotta tweak this a little bit here and there, and you know, make sure that's, I don't know, totally works within this context, which makes it ideal for like more advanced jazz and fusion. And well, I mean, I covered a lot of stuff. I think that it kind of gives you an idea of at least what I use it for, and some of the tones that you can get out of it. Yeah, I mean, the downside here is that you're not going to be able to go to most stores and try one of these guitars. So I was hoping maybe I could give you more of an idea of what it actually sounds like. I could even maybe get closer here. Let me kind of get real close and like kind of show you just how much force I'm putting in when I tap notes with my left or right hand. All right, so I'm putting in about like maybe that much force. And you get a really clear as a bell, beautiful, full rounded sound. As long as you hold the note down. The same thing over here, like if I use my right hand as a mute. I like that little kind of messianish fifths exercise that I do sometimes. Okay, so there you go. Hopefully you've gotten some good tidbits out of this. Please check out all the other videos on my channel, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, watch the first review video if you get a chance to. See you later.